historic Kenwood neighborhood lies 2 miles west of downtown St. Petersburg, Florida, located midway down Florida's west coast between the Gulf of Mexico and Tampa Bay. Founded in 1912, historic Kenwood became the city's first bedroom suburb, soon to be bordered by the city's newly constructed trolley line. Most homes in historic Kenwood were built on-site between the 1920s and 1940s. Their styles include a rich concentration of single-story bungalows and craftsman-style homes. In 2003, historic Kenwood was added to the National Register of Historic Places in recognition of these many architectural treasures. Today, the neighborhood is called home by over 4,000 residents living in more than 1,000 homes. Historic Kenwood is an urban neighborhood bordered by an interstate to its east, a high-traffic county corridor to its west, and a variety of commercial establishments to its north and south. In the 1970s and 80s, historic Kenwood, like many American inner-city neighborhoods, saw flight by residents and locally owned businesses for new subdivisions and shopping malls elsewhere in the city and county. Homes were often turned into rentals or left abandoned. Predictable issues with drugs, prostitution, and theft soon followed. Fortunately, the 1990s saw a spirited neighborhood revival as residents, both old and new, aggressively sought to recapture and revitalize the gorgeous neighborhood historic Kenwood had once been. Many homes were bought and beautifully renovated by appreciative owners. Pride was restored to the neighborhood. Today, historic Kenwood and its neighborhood association are recognized as one of St. Petersburg's great success stories, with numerous annual events from home tours to open-pit salmon bakes that attract well over 1,000 visitors annually. Yet the challenge of reclaiming unattended neighborhood homes remains, especially in the case of homes owned by those physically or financially unable to take on the work themselves. In late 2014, the Historic Kenwood Neighborhood Association created the Historic Kenwood Partnership Program to partner these challenged homeowners with other Kenwood residents, the city, and local churches to help revitalize their home exteriors through fresh coats of paint and yard cleanups at no cost to the owners. The results have been tremendous.
Working in our neighborhoods, beginning out with our neighborhood, approaching people who cannot afford to update their homes, bring them up to code, and offer to help with them regarding volunteers. What happens is the N team, which is the City of St. Petersburg N team, comes in and first preps the homes, gets them ready for painting, and then we bring in a volunteer team on 1 or 2 days to paint the property, usually with 2 coats of paint. And then there's another team that comes in and works on the landscape.
In 2015, the Historic Kenwood Partnership completed work on 5 neighborhood homes that included exterior home painting, yard cleanups, fence construction, and replacing a concrete deck with a wooden one. Owner reaction has been fantastic.
I attended one of our neighborhood porch parties, and I met a neighbor, and later on, several months later, she approached me and said there's a program with the city and that her church sponsors and her neighborhood sponsors, and they want to paint my house. I was a little overwhelmed. The painting would be free. And then these volunteers came on a Saturday. And in one day, basically, they painted my house. It was a very overwhelming thing to have happen. I am unable to do this myself. I'm an income level where I couldn't afford to do it myself. I'm disabled and not able to do a lot of painting myself also. I'm a single mom with 2 children, and it was an overwhelming and humbling experience.
Historic Kenwood resident Miss Hkna was another recipient of the partnership project. The exterior of Miss Hkna's classic American craftsman-style bungalow built in 1926 had become tired. The white paint was peeling, the concrete front steps were collapsing, and a concrete side porch had clearly seen better days. Even Miss Hkna's log pile looked in need of a creative redo. Historic Kenwood residents and members of the Foundry Church in Historic Kenwood joined hands and energy for a great few days of painting, repairs, and landscape. The tired white exterior soon turned a luscious green, accented with maroon trim. The front steps were demoed, rebuilt, and painted. Volunteers from Tampa Bay Youth Build, a group of at-risk youth, tore out the crumbling concrete side porch and built a new, handsome wooden deck. Even the haphazard pile of logs was given a fresh rebirth, with a new log holder on the home's front porch. Miss Hkna was thrilled. Equally gratified were the volunteers, who helped with the effort, including those from Tampa Bay Youth Build.
It was important to me for the community to be involved because we're giving back. We were doing something good to bring a smile to someone else's face, to just get dirty and hands-on and help someone out. It's important for everybody to mix and mingle, to come up with ideas to improve our community where we live at. I think it's an awesome thing.
Sometimes when we do a lot of things, in our community, it's one of those sort of altruistic acts where there's, not everyone sees your name or sees your face, but what they get to see is your work, the expression of your work and who you are as an individual.
From the city's perspective, the Historic Kenwood Partnership Program is an example of how neighborhood volunteers can make a critical and sustainable impact on a city's restoration of its often neglected neighborhoods.
The neighborhoods are the heartbeat of the city. Without the neighborhoods, you're not going to have the residents here. Without the residents here, you're not going to have the businesses here. Without the businesses here, you're not going to have the downtown core. The volunteer organizations such as Historic Kenwood Neighborhood Association are extremely important. First of all, we need to get the neighborhoods involved. And when you do that, you get them involved through the neighborhood associations. Historic Kenwood Neighborhood Association has been vital to getting the word out to other volunteers, not only within their neighborhood, but to other neighborhoods surrounding them.
As proud as we are of our accomplishments with the partnership program to assist our own residents and uplift the attractiveness of our own homes and streets, we have also sought to plant the seeds of the program's potential benefits with our sister neighborhoods immediately to our north and south. In the case of North Kenwood, we and members of Kenwood's Foundry Church joined with North Kenwood neighbors to repaint and spruce up the yard of a blind and financially challenged resident. Our goal was to both lift the spirit of the resident and inform our sister neighborhood of the benefits a similar program could have within its borders.
It helps the person in need, that's one. And it's a person who really is in need. That particular gentleman had been I think he's on dialysis 3 days a week. He has minimum income, no ability, no physical ability or economic ability to take care of his house. So he needs it. The neighborhood is improved because his house improves the neighborhood. The people who do the project all get to know each other, and we're all improved. We all grow from working together to help others. And by doing that, we transform the city. It's literally transforming the city one house at a time, one family at a time, one neighborhood at a time.
To our immediate south, we introduced the Palmetto Park Neighborhood Association to the opportunities from a partnership program by coordinating a sizable quantity of trash removal from an unoccupied home using volunteers from each of our neighborhoods. 2015 was the partnership program's first full year of operation. Over 1,000 volunteer hours were recorded for partnership projects. Additionally, Historic Kenwood funded $500 of project costs, with an additional $1,200 provided by Historic Kenwood's Foundry Church for in-neighborhood projects. In 2016, the Historic Kenwood Neighborhood Association will take over the Foundry's contribution in Historic Kenwood, which will be funded through income from other neighborhood association fundraisers. Additional in-kind contributions were made by the City of St. Petersburg and local companies at no cost to the neighborhood or affected homeowners. We in Historic Kenwood have taken immense pride in our accomplishments over the past 18 months. We have helped the lives of over a half dozen neighbors and have watched the growth of exterior improvements burgeon among those capable of doing the work themselves after seeing the partnership program volunteers at work. We have also proudly lent helping hands to our sister neighborhoods to show them the benefits from this form of volunteerism.
That old saying, it takes a village. Some people cannot provide for themselves or cannot do the things that they would like to be able to do. So by having this partnership, we can step in and help those folks. And it's great to, again, it's kind of a community building spirit where others get involved or see this happening and they decide that it's something that they should be doing to help their next door neighbor or someone down the street. It's very fulfilling. It's always great being a part of something bigger than yourself and where you're just doing it for no kudos, no credit, just helping somebody that needs the help, and it makes you feel good. It's very satisfying.
Historic Kenwood's partnership program has truly come to exemplify the meaningful way a neighborhood can revitalize its physical structures, as well as the lives of those who call them home. Through self-help partnerships between historic Kenwood residents and their challenged neighbors, augmented with assistance from volunteers with community-based groups, a neighborhood church, and city neighborhood specialists, we ignited a spark that lit a flame that has now grown into a neighborhood movement of neighbors helping neighbors in need. We could not be more proud.